making your sound better.
Hey guys, Ryan NZ here, back with another tutorial in association with the guys from WA Production. Go and check out their website for all their products. They make very good stuff. Okay, this one is going to be about the sort of this future bass, the future wobble type sound. I just put together just a quick little loop, but I'm going to show you how to make two of these synths. Okay, so the two sounds I'm going to show you how to make is, let's just put the loop a little bit here. There's going to be this one, and then this one. So there's just two synths, but they play different, two different ones there. No, sorry, the same one's there, and the same one is there. But you'll see that. So this is the other sound. Okay, so here you go. This is the first sound. Again, I'm just going to run through what I've done so you can copy it if you don't want to download these presets for free. They will be for free, and you'll get the other samples and stuff in the MIDI and the actual audio samples of these synths. So you can either screenshot this bad boy or you can get the free presets. So just starting off with the voicing page. We've got three units in there, and that's really the main thing there. It's put onto mono and legato. Yeah, that's the main one there. And then of course this is the main front page where we have the three oscillators there plus the modulation oscillator. The modulation oscillator, this ring mod and phase, these two modes are crucial and like probably one of the best synths that I use to make any of these sort of futury sounds, because you can turn on phase, and especially if you do if you don't just use the octave, so if you don't just use 0 or 12 semitones, 24 semitones, when you start to use, you know, like fifth there, like 7 semitones up as a fifth, or you know, you go you just sometimes go off the octave, it can actually produce some pretty cool results as well. So I do recommend that. But yeah, those are the three waveforms that I chose there, there, that one there, and okay, so they are both, or they are all turned up to the full. They're all being sent halfway between the filters. However, I could have put them all the way up because this mix here is showing you that it's all running through filter 1. So yeah, as you can see, filter 2 is not doing anything. Running through a screen filter and running through the tube distortion there, dimension expander, not very big though, and the little EQ where I'm smashing the high shelf there, and then of course there is the sine shaper down the bottom. So that's the first sound. Now, what I've done is it's playing two different slots. So this one and this one, they are exactly the same, but what I've done is I have changed. Yeah, okay, so this is the second one. So the first one I don't think has the LFO rotor to the filter. Yeah. Okay, so the filter on that first sound, okay, so it's getting a little bit of movement there from the first envelope, modulating this first cutoff. So it's got a slow attack. Now then, this one has the LFO, which is set to just the quarter note there, just the normal sine wave shape there, and that's how it's getting the different sound. Now you can see I've actually played the notes in, so it's not just one sustained. Yeah, so it's not just one sustained note where it's just the LFO's making it wobble at the same speed. This would have been just trial and error, basically, to just choose different settings that I could still also go in and play on the MIDI keyboard. So that's what that would have been. But those two synths there are actually the same. The only difference is with this second one here, I put an LFO to the cutoff, and then that just slightly, just made a slight difference to this first one here. And then with this sound here, again, this is the same synth, but I've just done a different setting. So let's just start with this one, the bottom one. So I think that's going to be slower. So this has probably got an LFO making it wobble faster. Okay, so that's what I would have done. So let's have a look at the sound anyway. So it's in massive again. And again, you will get the free preset. Okay, that doesn't need to be there. So this is only using oscillator 1 and the modulation oscillator. So what we've got here is the scrapyard one here. I've just changed it to the bend minus. And the LFO, so there's an LFO and a tiny bit of the envelope on this cutoff. However, this one here really isn't doing much. So you could actually get away with just muting that. That wouldn't affect it. So the main guy is this LFO here, and you can see it's on 16th notes. So that's why it does spin quite fast. And yeah, so what I've also done is to help with the movement with the sound is not only have I put the LFO on the filter, but I've put it onto the bend minus filter here, as well as the amp, and down here on the sine shaper. Yeah, sometimes I think you can get quite a clean wobble sound if you put the LFO on the amp as well as the filter. And that's it. This is the classic tube, the chorus, EQ, again, quite a bit of high shelf. Yes. Right. Again, this modulation oscillator, I'll see if I can turn it off and you can hear the difference. See if it is much of a difference. And now turn it off. A little bit of a difference. Yeah. So if you were to detune this even more, you can get a more dramatic effect. But yeah, I find when I'm making any of these future sounds, like I said just before, I find the key is this guy here, the phase mode. If you make sure you route it to the correct oscillator, that's when you can really start to get, some of these crazy tones that you're hearing at the moment these days. Yeah, okay, so this was the fast wobbling one, and then this is the exact same synth, and if we just open it up and see the difference. Yeah, okay, so the difference is all I've done is I've just changed it from 16th notes in this number 5 LFO to quarter notes. That's the only change that I've done. But I've actually, these 4 bass sounds, I've actually got a preset for each one of those sounds, so you don't have to worry about doing the modulations yourself if you don't want to. They'll all be there. And again, these are just some loops that I will also include. And again, I'll include the MIDI as well. I don't think there's much going on. A big movement is a big sort of thing that they do a lot is they will have a lot of pitch movement, so they'll go up. They'll start quite high and then they'll pitch bend them down, which I've done. I've done with both of these sounds actually. If I open up this guy here and go to the pitch bend. So yep, this first one you can see I pitch bend up. And then this one here, I pitch bend down. You can tell by that crazy little pattern there that I've done it just by the MIDI keyboard, so not by hand. And make sure you can always go into massive, and if you go to oscillator tab, you can set the semitones, the amount of semitones that you want for the pitch bend. When it's going up 7 semitones, you can either you can set that up to, I think, 24 is the highest you can go, so 2 octaves. Yes, that's how you set how many semitones you want it to rise, because you don't always want it to rise up an octave. See that one there, I want it to rise up a fifth. So that's how I set it on that one there. So again, the pitch movement is key to getting to sort of, fitting into this genre. But that's it. That's the 2 sounds for that future sound. Again, I love Massive to make any of these future sounds because I just love the modulation osc. I reckon it can destroy any of these oscillators. When I say destroy, I mean in a good way. It adds the harmonics and the weird harmonics to get these future sounds. So I really do recommend using this synth. But that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something, and we'll see you again soon.